So for demo today, we have this really killer 1964 Epiphone Crestwood Custom electric guitar. What can we say about these cool Epiphones? Well, the 60s Epiphones were all made by Gibson in the old Kalamazoo factory. Epiphone was bought by Gibson in the late 50s. So these guitars were made in the same factory by the same people that made all the Gibson guitars. So this is pre-65, so this is the golden era of Kalamazoo Gibson construction. The Epiphones were kind of quirky as far as being compared to their Gibson counterparts. It's hard to know exactly how they lined up, but generally every Epiphone guitar kind of had a Gibson counterpart. The Crestwood Custom, I guess it would kind of be like an SG. You have the two humbucker pickups, you know, with kind of a more rounded body shape. Again, it looks a little bit like a double cut Les Paul from what you'd find in, 5960, but it's a little more rounded and bubbly. So, it's kind of a cross between a number of different styles, but at the end of the day, it's its own thing. I would liken it mostly to like an SG because of the humbucking pickups. Of course, this one has the double humbuckers, mini humbuckers that is, as opposed to the full size. The mini humbuckers are not like quiet or small or less powerful. They have a more focused, clear, punchy sound. Many people, after comparing the mini humbuckers to the regular size, actually prefer the sound of the minis. I love the mini humbuckers. It's one reason I love early Epiphone guitars so much. So it has the tremotone tailpiece. It doesn't have the bar, but it's not all that functional of a tailpiece of a vibrato, in the sense that you don't really get a lot of pitch shifting. It just kind of gently rocks it back and forth. So you can find the bars and put it on there, but honestly, it's better set up as a stop tail. It has the original nickel wired ABR1 bridge, which still has the old style saddles. Those saddles are worth a lot because typically by that point, most of the saddles were that came on Gibson guitars were not the brass saddles, but the nylon saddles. So that bridge is valuable on its own. It's got nickel parts, so it's a nickel tremotone, the bridge, the posts, and the pickup covers, which is kind of cool. This is the Crestwood Custom. The Crestwood normally would have had cherry finish and I think dot inlays on it. The Crestwood Custom, if I'm remembering correctly, has these cool oval-shaped mother-of-pearl inlays, a white finish with the binding. And then there's like a Crestwood Custom Deluxe or something that has that's more like a Les Paul Custom. Anyway, cosmetically, it's in excellent shape. I mean, it's not a mint guitar. It does have some bumps and bruises and some wear, mainly around the edges. There's a couple small areas of touch-up, like right here and then here. And I think there's actually one there on the side. That can be taken off if you want. I don't know exactly what they use, but it kind of flakes out. I'm just going to leave it. The nice thing about this one, there's no cracks or breaks to the heel or the headstock. It's all intact, which is really nice. Serial number dates to 1964. It does have the double lines on there, which I think were introduced in 64. So those appear to be original. There is, Actually, I think that strap button is original. I could be wrong, but I think that they put two strap buttons on there. But it might also be one of these is added because that back one's missing. There's a small split in the pick guard here by the input jack. It doesn't, because of where it is, it holds on just fine. But it does come right across there. You can re-glue that and reinforce that if you want. I'm just going to leave it. Main thing is just when you do unplug it, just stick your finger there and poke it out. Any vintage guitar that has an input jack mounted on the pick guard like that, like a Jazzmaster, you just want to do that. Put your finger there, pull it out. Otherwise, it's there. Replacement guards that are vintage do come up for sale fairly regularly. I've actually seen them quite often because I think that sometimes they may have come with different, extra pick guards for different colors. But that's the original one, so I'm going to leave it. Yeah, it comes in a case. It's not the original case, but it's like a Lifton style case, I think. You can look at the listing, but it has Gibson style marigold lining on it, but I don't know what the guitar is originally for. I think when I got it, it had an SG in it. So it fits this body shape. It's a little deeper than the guitar, so I'll just put some extra padding in there to hold it in. It's a cool old case, and it looks good in there. So yeah, it's Crestwood Custom. It sounds good. These frets are fretless Wonder style, so they are thin and fairly short. They play fine right now. There's a little bit of fret wear. But obviously, with all fretless wonders, you know, you got to make that decision. Do you want to just go ahead and you just want to go ahead and get it refretted? So anyway, the neck's straight, action's good. Right now, I think it's set up with, it has 9s on there. Sounds good. I'm playing through a Tweed Deluxe reissue, which I think sounds really good. It's just stock. It's a 57 Deluxe reissue, and I think it sounds great with this particular guitar. So anyway, it's a 1964 Crestwood Custom. Oh, one other thing, the nut width is the transitional like 1 5/8 inch width. So it's right in between that narrow nut and the wider nut, and it definitely feels right in between. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not the skinny nut, but you're like, yeah, it's not quite as wide. So Epiphone transitioned to the narrower nut by 63. So some 63s and some 64s will have the wider nut, but by the time you get to 64, it's mostly just the transitional nut and the narrow nut. So anyway, that's what it is. 64 Epiphone Crestwood Custom. It's a killer guitar. Thanks for checking it out. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. It's very easy to do. You just hit that button. Also, if you've watched this far, super secret tip for you. This video is to demo the guitar in multiple places where I have it listed. If you buy it directly from me, my contact info is below. I don't have to charge sales tax at checkout. There may be use tax laws in your area, and you can go ahead and look those up and know what your legal obligations are. But as far as mine are at checkout, if you are not in Washington State, I do not have to charge you sales tax at checkout. Thanks for checking it out. Have a good day.